Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Josh and this is my new to me school bus. It's 2004 International RE 3000, and today I'm going to give you guys a little overview of the school bus and kind of show you what's going on and kind of give you guys a kind of a roadmap of what we think we're going to do to it and kind of give you a tour. So here goes nothing. We are here in my uncle's heavy equipment shop. He has graciously given me the space and the time to work on this project. One of note here are these jacks. These jacks are truck lifts, which you put one on each axle, on each side of each axle. So one right there, one on there, and then two on the other side. And they are synchronized so they can lift the entire bus up in the air, and me being a taller guy, it'll be very, very useful for me when I'm working on this underbay storage to not be working on a creeper and be able to work at eye level. So yeah, those will be very, very useful for me. So the plan with this bus is that between the axles here I am going to be putting my own underbay storage in, and that's also where all the utilities are going to go. Try to keep the living space as cluttered free as possible. Now I've already pressure washed the bus and tried to pressure wash underneath. I was on a creeper, crawled around underneath trying to get it clean. I did the best I could, but I mean, you could spend hours or days doing that, and yeah. Did as best I could. I spent about an hour on it. So this bus is a rear engine pusher bus. It's powered by a DT466E. Yeah, it's a 2004. The engine itself is in great condition. It doesn't burn any oil, very little blow by. Yeah, great condition for the year it is. Another big part of our conversion process will be raising the whole roof. I am 6'4", so the standard bus height, even though this is a tall bus because it had air conditioning units in it, it's still not tall enough for me. So we'll raise the roof up because we're insulating the floors. So my plan is to cut the bus right below this access hatch around the back side, all the way along to the front, over the window, and around the front and back down. So we can raise the whole roof line up. And that will be important because we are putting solar panels on the roof and possibly a deck if I get enough space available to me. Yeah, the back, we will be putting a hitch on here because I will be towing. We have a 2005 Jeep Wrangler, Jake. It's a two-door version. It's pretty nice. So we'll be towing that with us. Here's the other hatch. And we have some of our bigger items were shipped here. This is our refrigerator for the bus. But yeah, we have all the windows out. We gutted the whole bus. We stripped it down to the metal on the floor. So getting it down to that part was very challenging, but it was worth it. Gets us starting at it's a good starting place. You're not cutting through. A lot of people, when they do this, they leave the plywood and the vinyl on here, and they put insulation and then more plywood, and then their finished floor. So when they're cutting through the floor of the bus, they're cutting through all that insulation and everything. It makes it for a larger chore. So getting rid of that extra half-inch of plywood and that vinyl saves height and weight, and yeah, we're happy we did it because we will clean the floor really good, and I'll probably put some primer down so that it doesn't rust at all. There's little areas of rust and stuff, but a lot of this is just dirt. It came from Phoenix. It's an elementary school bus, so very little rust on here. Yeah, very little rust. And yeah, it just needs really good cleaning. Gutting the bus was quite a chore. It was just covered in dust, the red dust or whatever from Arizona. Made for quite a filthy chore, to be honest. I'll take you guys inside now. So, actually, before we do that, the doorway of the bus, we are going to, I'm going to pull this off and take the window panes out and convert the door a little bit. I'm going to make a single hinge door out of both of these doors so we can put a normal door latch. We'll do a key code lock on there and all that. That way it's more secure and it just will work better for us. So the dash is all coming out, even the main driver's dash. What we'll be doing instead is we'll build some cabinets here, and there'll be better storage. The heater's coming out too. We'll have a electric defroster for when we're on the road, and yeah, it's we're taking all the lines out. I've already cut out all the coolant lines and got the other heaters out too. We will be using those as heat sinks underneath the bus to cool it when we're going over passes and stuff, just a way to dump heat out of the engine coolant. I'll show the layout after I talk about kind of the gutting process. So we had a seat here, a seat here when we got it. The guys at AAA Bus pulled out all the other seats for me, which I'm very grateful for. It's quite a process. You're trying to, all the seats are attached along this rail here, and that rail is just full. It was an elementary school bus, so it's full of gum wrappers and all sorts of nasty stuff that fell between the cracks. So glad they did that for me. Like I mentioned before, this bus had air conditioning, so we were planning to use these air conditioners. There's one at the back there. Use these air conditioners for cooling the bus while we're on the road, or if we are in a climate where we need a lot of cooling. We will still have a rooftop air conditioner that will mount in one of these hatches, but yeah, I'll put these underneath the bus in the storage bay, and I'll have a ducted cooling system and heating system. But we had to pull all the ducts down, and that was just full of dust and dirt because it was collected all the dust because it was all moist when it was running. Yeah, so we pulled all those out. Still have to pull the shroud off this one, and yeah. Then back here, I've started gutting this. I'm going to take all of this sheet metal out, and I'm going to, because this will be my office, I'm going to have a standing desk back here, and the whole office will be on a platform, get above the block there. But I want to pull it out and put it back together in such a way that if I need to work on the motor, I can pull all the covers off easily and get full access to it, because it is a very tight little space, and there's not a lot of room to work on this. The motor is in the center of the bus, and the two hatches I can barely squeeze my shoulders in. So trying to do any meaningful inspection or work on the actual motor would be pretty hard for me to do by myself. So yeah, everything's coming out. These cowlings are coming out too. We'll put the air intake that goes over here will be put in the door. We'll put it through that door and we'll make that all mesh. And on this side, what we'll do is something similar. I'll put mesh on that door, and I'll actually think I can get better cooling. I'll put there are scoops that are on the outside of the bus. I'll put those scoops on those doors too to force air through the engine bay, keep everything nice and cool. Here's that third air conditioner. I'll leave that right where it's at, and yeah, try to keep as much cooling on this bus as possible. So the layout that we're going for is the bed will be back here over these wheel wells, and there'll be one step up right here, and to get to the office. Bathroom will be here with the shower and the bath or the toilet, We're doing a standard RV toilet style, not the composting style. Refrigerator, stove, sink. We have a really nice big sink. A cool storage pantry with a flip out. This whole section will flip down when you're not using it and flip back out. It'll be a nice bar top height workspace. We'll have a sofa right here that will also convert into a queen size bed for anybody that's traveling with us. And then this will be, dishwasher will sneak into the counter here, and this whole counter space will be my wife's office because we both work remotely and need our separate spaces. The driver's console, my hopes are to take this whole, maybe the shifting unit has the key and the air brakes, shift that up over top of here. So I get rid of that and then put these switches and warning indicators either up top here or redo this switch bank here and put them on there also. That way we can have a much more obstruction-free dash. So, and above the dash we are putting more storage over there, and then yeah, we're taking this whole pneumatic cylinder assembly off the door closer, and yeah, we'll be putting, when we raise this up, it'll be cut right through here and above the door and over the brow of the bus, back behind the window and then back down. So it's going to be a substantial project, but it will allow me to stand up in full height, because on the floor we're going to use it's an insulation system called InsoFast. It's a 2-inch insulation with studs in it, plastic studs. So we'll glue the panels to the floor, and then on top of that we can screw our, we'll put a 1/2-inch plywood or OSB, lay that down, and we can screw right into those plastic studs, so we don't have to mess with screwing metal tapping screws into the floor. And on the walls, we are cutting the walls out, and we'll be putting that same insulation in the walls. And then you can actually, when you glue the panel up, you glue it along its full length, and then it'll have studs running across, 3 of them, that you can use to screw anything you want into the walls, so you don't have to go into these metal struts that they're a high strength steel, so they're very hard to drill into. It's tedious to drill into them, I should say. And on the roof we are going to do a beadboard or shiplap style. We'll pull the roof out and do that just to give it a little bit more homely look. So that's a basic overview of what our intentions are for the bus. We'll see where this project takes us, but that's kind of our goals when we're starting here. There'll be more videos to come. I still have to finish demoing the bus, and then I'll start on the underbay storage first. Get that done, then go onto the roof, get the solar rails and all that, all the mounts for that done. And then we'll raise the roof up. And that'll be quite the process. It'll be fun. We have available to us a big A-frame hoist. I have also forklifts and loaders, so we'll see what we end up using. But I have plenty of equipment available to me. But this will be quite the process, and I'm glad you're here to join me in watching it. So thanks everybody. I'll catch you on the next video.